Dear Mr. Obama, I do want to take the time to congratulate you on your popularity. I can understand why 98% of African Americans support you. You are an icon that proves America has risen above race. I applaud you, sir. However, at such a time in our nation's history, when Russia is threatening their surrounding countries who have reached up and grabbed that brass ring of independence, freedom, and democracy, at a time when nuclear Pakistan is showing such great instability, at a time when the terrorist threat to America is still alive and well, at a time when evil nations are building nuclear weapons and our economy is frail due to frivolous spending by both parties and oil is being used to squeeze economies around the world. I have to know who is going to lead this great nation into our future. I could stump for Colin Powell all day long because I know him. My greatest concern is I just don't know who you are. Here's why. Words and actions have meaning. You wanted to remove our troops from Iraq immediately. Now you want to provide troop withdrawal responsibly. You said you would filibuster FISA, then voted for it. You said you would support saving the life of an aborted baby that survived the procedure but ensured legislation never passed. You said you could no more disown Reverend Wright than your own grandmother. He was a friend of the family. Yet you tossed him under the bus. What kind of loyalty is that? Who are you loyal to, if anybody? You said we needed a national dialogue on race and got us all talking, but then never began that dialogue. You said Israel must never be divided, and the next day said it must. You said you're ready to lead, but the only true accomplishments you have had is writing 2 books about yourself. Your record of change or working across the aisle is not even negligible. You talk about hope and then tell a 7-year-old child America will never be what it once was. You agreed to public financing and then refused it. You accused Clinton and Edwards of taking union money, then took union money yourself. You said it was time to end the embargo with Cuba and then told a Miami audience you would not do so. You said we should not crack down on employers who hire illegal aliens and then said we should crack down. You told college students you would make marijuana legal and then in debates said you were against it. You said you would serve out your Senate term and then ran for president. You said you would meet with foreign leaders with no preconditions your first year in office and then laid out preconditions. You said you would rid the world of Iran's nuclear threat and then opposed labeling the Iranian Guard a terrorist organization. Is Iran a grave threat to the U.S. or a tiny country? You have said both. Tell me where you really fall on this. I think it's important, sir. You said you would repeal the Patriot Act and then voted for it. As an Illinois senator, you voted to require illegal aliens to get driver's license, and then you opposed the idea in a debate. You said you would slow development of military hardware and reduce military expenditures across the board, and now you say you will invest in our military. In short, I don't know who you are. I don't know what you represent. I don't know what you stand for. Is this just political posturing based on your audience? Are these ever-evolving positions based on your inexperience? I need to know this. As president, you would have the nuclear codes. At such a crucial time in our history, you have reinvented yourself so many times, I have no idea who you are. I didn't do this. You did. I have been listening to your words. As such, I could not possibly vote for you. Those who seek to be everything to everyone really stand for nothing and is loyal to no one. I want someone who will stand tall against America's enemies and not waffle. I want someone who will share his heart and say, this is who I am. I want someone who has proven they will place country over self, over party, and over special interests. I want someone who will make the hard decisions and not be swayed by public opinion in polls. I want a patriot, not a politician. I want a leader, not a chameleon. I want a reformer, not a performer. I want change in Washington. I want McCain, Palin, 2008.